I'd like to discuss something which is very important. This particular discourse of the Buddha appreciated by everybody, even the followers of other religions also appreciate. We can measure, or we can consider, or we can understand the Buddhist attitude or Buddhist way of life when we listen to this interpretation given by the Buddha. That is called Kalama Sutra, the name of that discourse. Group of young people, Kalamas. One day they approached the Buddha and told him that they have no religion. Although there are many religions in India, we have not decided to accept any particular religion. Because every religion, or followers of every religion, are trying to prove that their way of religious life is more correct, more important, but still we have not decided. But we heard that your way of preaching is very unbiased. Therefore we have decided to come and get your advice. How to choose a religion? Now that is the question. Usually we do not choose a religion. Since we were born in Buddhist families, we were trained according to our Buddhist culture, Buddhist tradition, Buddhist way of life. Then we accept Buddhism is our religion or my religion. And the Christians, Muslims, Hindus also do the same thing. Those who were born in Muslim families or Christian families, they were trained from their childhood, this is the correct religion, this is the only religion. Then they accept. So our religion is the best or the correct religion. The whole world is a battlefield today because of religion. They maintain their religions with their egoism, egoistic idea, our religion, my religion. Then they try to drag others into their religion, saying others are wrong, we are correct. Two religions are very particular about this: Christianity and Islam. To them, others are not religious people. Others cannot go to heaven. Only these two religions. But Buddhism and Hinduism, these two religions never say that our religion is the best religion or correct religion, others are wrong. Never say. Now, Christians say, if we want to find out our salvation, we must go through Jesus. Otherwise, no salvation. Muslims say, if we want to go to heaven, we must go through Allah. Otherwise, no salvation. Even in Hinduism, there's a saying in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmang parityajya mamekang saranang vraja. Krishna, God, says, Sarva dharmang parityajya, give up all the other religions. Mamekang saranang vraja, take refuge in me. Hinduism also says, although they do not try to convert people, their concept is like that. But in the teachings of the Buddha, you cannot find such saying. Buddha has never said, you must take refuge in me if you want to go to heaven. Yes, never. Again, he says, you should not accept my teaching thinking the Buddha is a great man. You never learn anything. You have to think. You must try to understand. Then you gain confidence without depending on person. Because there are people who say, oh, we can do this because Buddha says we can do this. That is a very childish way of saying. Children's language. We should not say like that. That means you are selfish. We say, oh, Jesus says we cannot do this. If we do this, God will punish us. We go to hell. That is selfishness. For your own protection, you don't know to do that. You have no sympathy and kindness and compassion toward others. Remember this. You should not depend on a person. We also have common sense of reasoning. We also can understand many things. What is right, what is wrong. I have told you this on many occasions. I am repeating again. When I was invited to give a talk in a Catholic church, after my talk, somebody else says, you say Buddha says like this and we say Jesus says like this, who is correct? Then I told him, you better forget your Jesus. I can forget the Buddha. Think unbiasedly, using common sense. Then you can understand many things without depending on them. Example. The Buddha says, we should not steal. Jesus says, thou shalt not steal. Do you think without depending on Buddha, without depending on Jesus, we cannot understand that stealing is bad? Why do you depend on them to know that it is bad? That is what the Buddha says. Don't depend on that person. You have a thinking mind to understand. Therefore you must never say, oh, Buddha says we should not do, therefore we can. You can say like this. I know this is wrong. The Buddha also said this is wrong. Then alright. We can understand this is wrong. The Buddha also has said this is wrong. To support your idea. This is the nature of this religion. So, the Buddha has given 10 important points for them to consider. If you are going to accept a religion, you have to consider these 10 points. Then you can decide whether acceptable or not. But how many people are there in this world who accept a religion by thinking, through understanding. It is their tradition. It is their way of life. They try to glorify, oh, this is our religion. That is ego. The Buddha has given this warning. Remember this. This is also very good sayings of the Buddha. There is one particular sutra. He says, Kullupamang vikkave dhammang desissami nittaranattaya no ganhanattaya. A beautiful saying. Meaning, I introduce the Dharma as a raft. You know, when you want to cross a river, if there is no boat, you can make a raft by collecting pieces of wood and cross the river. After crossing the river, it is not necessary for you to carry that. Dharma that I taught, you had to use just like that raft that you use to cross the river, not for you to claim. Therefore Buddha said, don't claim that is my Buddhism, this is our religion, this is our Dharma. It is wrong. It is the method taught by the Buddha for us to use to get rid of our sufferings and problems and worries and fear and disturbances by using that, not to claim. The whole trouble is all the others, they claim our religion. You must bring others into our religion. Otherwise they go to hell. According to the Buddha, follower of any religion can go to heaven if they lead a harmless, respectable, noble life. Whatever may be the religious label, that is immaterial. Again, there are some others who have no religious label at all. They say they are free thinkers. They never claim that they are belong to any particular religion. They have no God. They have no heaven. They have no hell. They have no karma. They have no rebirth. They have no soul. Nothing. They are free thinkers. From the Buddhist point of view, those free thinkers also can go to heaven. Because those ingredients are not important. God, no heaven, no hell, no soul, no this, so that, they are not important. If we know how to lead a gentle, reasonable, harmless life, that means without using religious label, you practice religious principles. That's what they do. They practice religious principles, but no religious label. For example, there are certain bad, immoral, wicked, cruel things. Those free thinkers also never do such thing knowing they are wrong. Not because of God, not because of hell, not because of punishment, by knowing they are wrong. Again, they do good services to release others' sufferings and problems and poverty and so many things. Very good services without expecting any reward from God or to have better rebirth. By knowing as human beings, we must do some service to others. The human values are there. So religious labels are nothing for it. But when you consider this from the Buddhist point of view, they practice religious principles without using any religious label. So there's no difficulty for them also to go to heaven if they want. That is Buddhism. Now what are those 10 points? First thing, do not go by reports. That means people are doing all sorts of advertisement, propaganda work, very decorative, very beautiful, very attractive, the way how they introduce. Lot of propaganda work in the name of religion. The Buddha says, don't accept a religion having seen, having heard those reports, propaganda work. First advice. Because they know how to beautify, how to decorate, how to talk, to convince the others. But the truth is not there when you consider unbiasedly. So the advice given by the Buddha, don't accept at once, having seen or having heard, this kind of thing. First advice. Second thing, thinking this is our tradition. Now this is a very important point. Now Chinese and Indians have ancient traditions for more than 5,000 years old traditions they have. But still they maintain certain traditions. What is the advice given by the Buddha? He said, you should not give up your traditions, thinking these are age-old traditions. Because amongst those traditions, there are many meaningful, very significant, very useful traditions. You must follow them. On the other hand, amongst those traditions, there are meaningless, ridiculous practices and beliefs. Therefore, you should not try to follow them thinking this is our tradition. Therefore, we must follow. The Buddha says it is wrong. Because primitive people, few thousand years ago, according to their understanding capacity, they have introduced certain practices because of their fear or suspicion or expecting something, introduce certain practices. They have become our tradition. But today, people are educated. Scientific education opened our minds. So what we have been maintaining as our traditions, we can find out these are only imaginations, mere imaginations. Now what is happening to Christianity in the West? You can visit any Western countries today. More than 50% drop. They like to remain as free thinkers because scientific education opened their minds. when we think they can understand what is written in the holy books, not acceptable, mere imagination or mythologies. Therefore they give up. There are many slowly giving because of their education. That is why Buddha has given this advice. Certain traditions are very important, but certain things are no meaning at all. I have given an example. When there is a Chinese funeral, when the funeral undertakers are going to close the coffin, they advise the family members to look at the wall. Cannot look at them. This is your tradition. Still you follow this. But you do not know how they started. Do you know those days, they strongly believe if people put any valuable things into the coffin, they will get them in the next life. There are people. So, it has become their customs to put valuable things, jewelry, gold, diamonds and valuable things into the coffin. So the undertaker asks you to look at the wall, make yourself put in the pocket, and still you are watching the wall. So this has become a custom, because they have created fear in your mind. If you look at it, it's very bad for you. But in many other countries, that is a very important occasion for them, when they are going to close the coffin. They pay respect to their father or mother or anybody. When they are going to close the coffin, they pay respect. These are the traditions introduced by your forefathers, still you maintain without thinking, because the fear is there in your mind. If you do not follow them, something will happen to you. You must have courage to produce all these kinds of, that's why the advice given by the Buddha, when you are going to accept a religion, you should not accept thinking this is our tradition, therefore we must follow. You have to consider very carefully. Third one. Hearsay. People come and tell you all sorts of cock and bull stories about religion. Miracles, supernatural powers, healing powers, and so many things to influence you. After listening to them, you accept. Why not we also follow them? But the advice given by the Buddha, don't listen to them at once. You have to think, you have to observe, you have to investigate, then you can decide later. Those who know how to talk, they know how to exaggerate, beautify, to influence you. You know, according to our religion, you can gain this, you can attain this, but you believe. So the Buddha's advice is not to listen to others when they come and tell you about their religions and miracles and supernatural power. Do you know, many years ago, there was a miracle here in this country. when you eat one chapati, the Indian roti, and pour tea in the evening, and next day morning you can see these multiply. Miracle. Then they try to introduce this. Oh, this is done by the God at night, multiply. This is very good to cure your cancer, your this and that, and you must recite this prayer and eat your, spreading all over the country. Miracle. A doctor at the university hospital wanted to test. What he did, got few chapatis and pour cold water, hot water, milk, coffee, tea into different chapatis. Next day morning when he went, he saw only the one that he poured, tea, multiply, but not others. Then he explained, tea contains certain chemicals that can multiply this one, but not others. Hot water or cold water or milk or coffee cannot. After that, the miracle is achieved. That's why we accepting, not knowing how things take place. So the advice given by the Buddha, not to accept such thing as well. We have to consider very carefully. Then do not go on the authority of sacred text, holy book. This is also another important advice. People can say, this is in our holy book, this is in our Bible, this is in our Quran, this is in our Bhagavad Gita, this is in our Dhammananda. Without considering, studying, thinking, we try to accept what is written in our holy books. The Buddha's advice is don't accept. First you have to think, who have recorded these things in this book? Who have written these things? This is given by the God. Some others say, no, written by a human being. Ideas also given by the human being, not by God. I told you, few years ago we had the inter-religious forum in Kuching. 5 religious groups. After our talk, somebody asked this question. Who introduced religion? Whether given by God or introduced by the man, meaning human being. Believe me, Christians, Muslims, Hindu and Sikh, 4 religious speakers refused to answer. They asked me to answer the question. Then I knew they are trying to escape. Why? If they say yes, given by the God, there will be many who never agree with that. If they say yes, created by the man, there are many orthodox religious people never agree with them. Lot of arguments, no end. By knowing this, they kept quiet and asked me to answer the question. Then I thought, why not I also escape? Then I said, all right. I am going to answer your question if you are going to answer my question. What is that? Then I asked, which comes first, the egg or chicken? Nobody. Then I told you your question is exactly like this. No argument, finish. Here, few years ago I was invited to give a talk in another seminar organized by the government. Audience were doctors and nurses regarding the family planning. Because some religion cannot say yes or no. Very difficult. So fortunately I was the last speaker. I heard Christians, Muslims and Hindus what they have said. It is difficult for them to show the green light or red light. They talk and talk and talk but no conclusion. To say yes or no. Because they cannot consider according to their holy books. Then in my talk, I said, why do you want to depend on your holy books to find out, to know whether family planning is possible or not? Religion has nothing to do with this. Why do you want to depend on holy books to find out whether possible or not? It is up to them. They have freedom. Either to produce their children or not to produce children, or to limit the number of children or increase number of children. It is up to them. Religion has nothing to do with this. Then I told them. There was a religious teacher who had few hundred followers, and he had written everything in his holy books and advised his followers not to do anything without referring to this holy book. So they accepted. So one day, when this teacher and the followers were crossing a river, the bridge is very narrow, and the teacher dropped into the river. Then they are going to the holy book, whether he had written anything, what to do when he fell into the river. He is shouting there, saying, wait, we want to know what you have written here. Exactly the same thing will happen to you if you are going to depend on your holy book for your family planning. Believe me, one European lady got up. I think in future we have to depend on Buddhism. Because the freedom is there. And what have you got to do with your holy book for that? Here the uniqueness of Buddhism you can understand. You have freedom. You are not going to destroy any life. No. That is why here they don't depend on your holy books. Oh, our Quran says like this, our Bible says like this, our Dhammananda says like this. We also have common sense and understanding. And again, who have recorded these things in their book. Simply they can say given by the God. Then the next advice. There is no another religious teacher who can give this kind of advice. Do not go on the ground of pure logic. Now this is very controversial. Logic. You should not bring logic into religion. People can twist and turn the logic according to their talent and ability. Therefore, difficult to find out the truth in logic. So the Buddha has advised, don't depend on logic. You cannot understand the truth You can argue, go on arguing and arguing and arguing, but no conclusion. One who knows talk very well, he can win the battle. Cunningness, cleverness can topple all the others by using their logic. So don't bring logic into religion to accept or to know whether it is right or wrong. By arguing, you cannot get the answer. Next one, do not go by a view that seems rational. We always say Buddhism is rational. Rational means not narrow-mindedness, open to everybody, no orthodoxy. It is rational. But here, advice given by the Buddha, because there is no another English word for us to use. Here they translated this Buddha word into rational. Rational means the things that we accept by reasoning. But we use that reasoning with our limited or narrow-mindedness. Then we try to justify. It is correct. It is rational. Religious points are not like that. By using our limited rational or the way of thinking, without further investigation, you should not accept. Otherwise you think it is correct. But it will take time for you to understand that it is not correct. After some time, when more maturity, more knowledge, more experience, more understanding appeared in your mind, you come to know what you have accepted is wrong. That is why here the Buddha says, don't use only rational in that. You have to observe very carefully. Then, do not go by reflecting on mere appearance. The things that appear cheat our eyes. We do not know that. You know a man who performs circus, how he cheats our eyes. We cannot understand. Then we think, oh yes, it is true. For example, he brings a pigeon, live one, then bring a knife and cut the throat and take out the head and body short. Then again join. Fly. You cannot catch the trick. It is impossible for anybody in this world, after cutting the neck and joining it again, then no one can do that. That is why the Buddha said, don't accept. There are many things that you can understand properly. You look at the things as they appear, not as they are. Two different things. Look very beautiful, very nice, very attractive. But when we analyze, there is nothing. See the way how Buddha has introduced to develop our understanding. Do not go alone with considered view, because you agree with that. At once you can say, yes, I agree with that. At that time, you may use your emotion, not understanding, or very attractive, appealing to your mind or your eyes. Therefore, at once you say, yes, I like it, I accept it. But take some time for you to understand that it is wrong, what you have accepted earlier. Because our understanding takes place according to our maturity, experience and knowledge, what we believed when we were very young. Today we can understand we were wrong, because more maturity, more understanding. You know, a young boy has said, when I was small boy, my father talked rubbish. Now it seems now he is very wise. He can talk something sensible. But he cannot understand. His understanding capacity is developed, therefore he can understand what the father said now. When he was young, he could not understand what he said. Therefore he said, father is mad, he talk rubbish. Remember that. All our belief, what we have accepted earlier, become rubbish when we grow and develop our understanding. Experience, especially our experience. All our good and bad characteristics in our life, we understood according to our experience. Not given by God, not given by the Buddha, not created by anybody to tell us. Our own experience. Do you know how long it has taken for us to develop our mind, our brain and the organs of the body? How long? Can you imagine? Scientists have discovered, we cannot argue with them, they have enough points. Scientists have discovered it has taken millions of years to develop all these organs systematically and the brain and thinking power. Millions of years. But others say the God molded at once, created at once. Scientists never accept this kind of thing. That's why Pope had to say, this is a gradual development of evolution, evolvement. There's nothing to produce at once. Now this human life, say another 10,000 years or another millions of years time, become entirely different type of living being. Evolving, changing. Today, all over the world, human beings are criminal-minded, cunning, selfish. But our primitive people, very innocent. They were not cunning. They were not cruel. When they wanted to eat something, they go for hunting an animal just like other living beings. Besides that, no immoral practices. But today, immoral practices have become social activities. Nobody thinks, oh, they are immoral, they are harmful, they are this. And the cruelty, wickedness The man who has planned to destroy Bali, that building, and 200 died on the spot, and how many injured, nobody knows it. And they could manage to catch the man, and judgment was given in the court. They had more than enough evidence to prove that he is the one who planned this one. Death penalty. When the judge announced death penalty, how he behaved, you might have seen in television. He threatened the judge like this. After that, like hero, laughing and doing it like hero. See the nature of the mind. Having done such wicked, cruel thing to destroy so many innocent people, and now he stands like a hero. This is the nature of the human mind today. So this suicide bomb. Now if people start this in every country, I think there won't be any more human beings on this earth. Because one man or woman died by killing 100 or 200 on the spot. Formerly they never had this kind of thing. How many changes have taken place in our mind? Everything we use in a very cunning way. Religion also. Religion is to train our mind. That is the main purpose of religion. Naturally, our minds are very wild, difficult to train. So religion tries to train and train and train and train, develop this mind. But today what they do? They use the name of religion, they bring the religion in the battlefield to destroy innocent people. That is religion. See how they use religion, for what purpose? Where is the development, understanding, kindness, compassion, sympathy, humane qualities in their mind? Nothing. They use religion for material gain. They are crazy for converting people. Not because of religion, they want to increase their number of people and gain more and more income. Convert, promising to send them to heaven. Actually, people do not practice religion today. Bluffing, cheating. Only for the namesake they use our religion. Now let us take the basic principles of every religion. Islam. 5 pillars. Buddhism. 5 principles. Christianity. 10 commandments. Hinduism. 3 principles. Sikhism. 3 principles. All are the same. Then is there any reason for us to fight and quarrel and kill and destroy or convert? If we take religious principles. Therefore, it is not that religion that they want. They want to use the name of religion for their material gain, personal income, or what we call political power, material gain, but no religious way of life. We can say, we pray so many times a day, therefore we are religious. After praying, we get up, go out and destroy innocent people. Again come back and pray. They become religious. We cannot become religious just by praying or worshipping. We have to train our mind by knowing the nature of our own mind. Whether we have more anger, more jealousy, more cruelty, more wickedness, more greed, more selfishness, by knowing these things, then try to train and train and train. That is religion. If we cannot do that, there is no religion. We are doing something else. That is why here Buddha says we have to consider this. Do not go alone on the ground that the person is clever. One who is going to introduce this religion is a very clever man. He can act, he can talk, he can do everything to win the heart of others. But you do not know he is very cunning. He acts in that way just to win the heart. You accept it. Therefore, you should not accept any religion thinking one who introduced this religion is a very clever man. Clever man is a cunning man. You understand? Only cunning people can become clever. Others cannot become clever. Then do not accept a religion thinking the teacher who introduced this religion is our man, is our teacher, our guru, our master. By depending on that person, don't accept any religion. How many occasions the Buddha has mentioned this? Don't accept anything that I preach thinking the Buddha is a great man. You never learn anything. You depend on that person. You have to consider and try to understand what he preached. Not simply by depending on that person. He is the Buddha, he is the Jesus, he is the Muhammad, he is Krishna. Recently we had interreligious dialogue in the town. Somebody asked, what is the difference between Jesus and the Buddha? Then I told, Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian. Therefore both can agree very well. Because they have no religious label. If they had religious label, then they differ. They are religious teachers. These labels given by us. Here you can understand. Just like these principles, religious principles, are the same. Then why do we fight and quarrel and condemn others, followers of other religions? They don't want to follow the principles. They want to do something else to gain something for their own benefit. Then these are the 10 points given by the Buddha to these young people. Then he said, there are certain things which are very good for you, but bad for others. Don't do. Certain things are very bad for others, but very good for others. Bad for you, good for others. Don't do. If your action is good for you as well as good for the others, then accept. That is the final advice given by the Buddha. Then they said another thing. People believe that there will be a life hereafter, rebirth. It is very difficult for us to believe that there will be another life after our death. The Buddha says you should not bother about that. You have to fulfill your duties, your day-to-day work, without neglecting. So when you continue your work in this way, you are molding your next existence. Therefore, not necessary to believe. And another lady also asked this question the other day, in religious dialogue. She said, it is very difficult for her to believe that there is a rebirth. Then I asked, who asked you to believe? Not necessary. Forget about that. You do your work. It is natural. We cannot create rebirth. We cannot stop rebirth. Birth is natural. Sicknesses are natural. Old age is natural. Death is natural. No need to believe. If anything happens after our death, that is also natural. Remember this. You cannot stop this. You cannot create this. It is natural. Of course, we have difficulty to understand how it takes place. The Buddha has explained. Those who want to know how it takes place, he explained. Those who are not interested, not necessary to understand, go ahead with their work. Rebirth takes place naturally. Advantage is this. If we strongly believe that it is true, then we prepare for that. While we are living here, we can prepare for the next existence. Not to become unfortunate one, but pleasurable, meaningful, useful life. We can prepare while we are living here. This is the advantage if you know, if you have confidence that it is true. Others have no chance. Now other living beings have no chance. They have no idea about another existence after their death. Even animals, even devas, brahmas also have no such idea that there will be another life after their death. Only human beings. Because human intelligence is very advanced, but we misuse that intelligence. Many people misuse. Use as cunningness, selfishness, and for their benefit. And cruelty, wickedness also they develop to gain something for their benefit. Human mind is such. But when you follow certain religious principles, then we know, as human beings, humane qualities. What are those? Our sympathy, our kindness, our compassion, our honesty, our patience, tolerance, unity, harmony, understanding. See how many good qualities are there in our mind. But they were overshadowed by evil thoughts. Selfishness, anger, jealousy, grudge, ill will overshadow. So by reducing evil forces, then we get the chance to develop all the good qualities. Religion is important for that purpose, because nobody else can adjust this now. Either the Buddha or God cannot adjust. We had to do that. So please remember, although you have not chosen a religion, but you have to think, the religion that we follow is meaningful, practicable or not. Don't follow saying this is our tradition. No religious value. Here in this country I have met many people. When I ask whether they are Buddhist, they say, I think I am a Buddhist. Because on Vesak day I come to the temple. That's all. That is their Buddhism. Other than that, they have no idea anything whatsoever. So the most important thing is not the external activities that we organize as religious practices, the inner development. By knowing what is in our mind, by knowing what are the evil forces in our mind, by knowing what are the good thoughts in our mind, then we have to deal with this matter. Religion is important for that, because science or any other subject cannot change our mind in that way. Mind can become more wicked, more selfish, more cruel the more we learn science and various other subjects. Therefore, religion can guide those people not to misuse. Education is important, that's it. Otherwise, education alone can create more problems, more disturbance. Education, real meaning of the word is development of the mind. That is a Latin word, educo. Educo means development. Development is not the knowledge. We can learn everything under the sun and the moon. Knowledge is there, but no development in the mind. Remember, people think that they are very learned, therefore their mind is very developed. No. Development takes place. Assume we do not know anything about this world, but we know about our mind. Then we try to reduce our jealousy, reduce our anger, reduce our cruelty, reduce our cunningness, reduce our selfishness. Then the development takes place in the mind. That is called education. In English, education means academic knowledge, worldly knowledge, but no development in the mind. Okay, I think enough today.